Okay, with these three problems, it says for the given algebraic expression, show all steps in the order they are to be performed. So all that means is that this is the order of operations, essentially. So we have the PEMDAS, which means parentheses, exponents, that's the E. However, with exponents can be square roots at the same time. And then M for multiplication, but multiplication and division are done at the same time but from left to right. And then addition, subtraction it also goes from left to right. So it kind of looks more like this. Parentheses, exponents, square roots, multiplication, division, adding, subtraction. All right, so this one here, we begin. We don't want to subtract because that's the last thing we do. So that we have to look at this situation here, and I'm going to include the negative sign. And you could do distributive properties since we're halfway or all the way at the end of the semester and you know that how to do that. But let's just go back to where we were with this initially. Go ahead and perform the math in the parentheses, and that saves you extra steps of having to do distributive. You really don't need to do that. So then 2 plus 7 is 9, and keep the parentheses because that indicates multiplication in this case. We have to know what we're going to do with this 4. If the parentheses weren't there, then you would have to write in a multiplication sign. And then you put the 14 in front. So anytime, as I've said before, anytime I do math, I write down the change and then I just write everything down that's left over so I can keep track of what the next step will be. So what we have is the difference here between subtraction and multiplication, and of course multiplication comes first, so we multiply -4 times 9, which is 36, -36, and then we still have our positive 14. When there's no sign, it's just positive. So 14 minus 36, so you find the difference and you take the sign of the larger number, but we'll just do it on a calculator. So you have 14 minus 36, because you can use a calculator on your test. It's -22, and try to do that because that just helps you from making small errors that you don't really need to make. Okay, so that's all that problem was. And on this one, it's got this square here. It's not very visible, but is a 2 here. So again, we follow PEMDAS. We're going to work what's inside the parentheses first. So 13 minus 9 is 4. But the parentheses stay there because we still have to square it. And this 10 is still there. I made one change, so I indicated the change inside the parentheses, and then I wrote the rest out. And then the next step, we have a choice between an exponent and addition, so we have to do exponent first, which is 4 times 4 is 16. So 16. And then we have plus 10 left, and that's simply 26. So the answer to that one is 26. Over here, number 28, again we have this 5 out here as an exponent, but we have to work what's in the parentheses first. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and I worked inside the parentheses, so now I write everything down that I have left. I still have the exponent left plus the 7. Now I look at this, it's a different, it is addition and then an exponent, so we do the exponent first. 4 to the 5th power, I'm going to use the calculator on that, is, let's see, 4 XY 5, 1024. So that would be 1024. And then we still have the adding 7 right there. So we add 7 to 24 essentially, which is 31. So what we'll have is 1031 as our answer. Let's put it in black like the other ones. And that's it for those 3 problems.